Hey gamers, there wasn't a whole lot of news this week besides what was announced at the Game Awards, but because we're the best game reporters out there, we decided to take a deeper look into everything that was announced and cover the small amount of news that did happen during the week.
But first, a bit of trivia. What was the name of the mascot character that appeared in the 2016 Game Awards and will never come back? Hydro Man, Hydro Head, Hydro Bot, or Hydro Hero? Let us know in the comments, but only after you subscribe. Got it?
Taking it to the next level, that was sick!
We were originally going to have our first main story be about that weird-ass fever dream of a game that was announced at the VGA's Catly. But the more Skull and I looked into it, the less worthwhile talking about this scam became. All we do know about it is that it's more than likely a shitty NFT game ran by a company funded with angel investors who did metaverse bullshit in the past.
And they seem to have scrubbed the internet of their previous attempt, Plantly. From the look of things, they're looking for rage bait to help promote their game for free. So we're instead going to talk about an actual game that will actually be coming out. And that'll be the Bow Bow game with the ink brush.
OKAMI. She's talking about OKAMI 2. Even though it should be called OKAMI 3 because OKAMI 2 already came out, not that anyone seems to remember that. OKAMI Dem was great. Sorry that it was stuck on the DS.
And as Booster pointed out during the initial reveal, the game probably wouldn't have much hope unless Kamiya came back. And we're happy to say that not only is Kamiya coming back as director, but the game is also being developed by Kamiya's new studio, Clover's Inc., which you can think of as the spiritual successor to the original studio that created the first OKAMI game, Clover Studio.
If this means we get more of Clover's back catalog coming back, I'm all for it. Kamiya has stated in interviews that he's working with his most trusted comrades, so that probably means that ex-Clover employees have come back too. Unlike Naughty Dog boasting their history when half the people who worked on those games left long before Intergalactic was a thing.
And if you didn't watch the VGAs, you wouldn't know that people are bitching about The Witcher 4 for two reasons. The first being fairly reasonable. It looks like in the trailer Ciri has become a Witcher, which looks like a retcon to the lore, which technically it wouldn't be, it's just cementing some very loose canon lore as official canon lore now. Regardless, it's still kinda weird. But the second reason why people are bitching is for a very stupid reason. People are now arguing that Ciri has been quote-unquote uglified, which, you know, she hasn't. She's just, you know, a 40-year-old white girl now. She's gonna look older, because God forbid a female actually ages. Anyway, all that aside, Witcher 3 data miners have discovered almost every single line of text from its development.
Moon Knight, Feroxis, Cygreg, and Glassfish, the fine fellows who made the cut content restoration mod for the game, have created a 585-page PDF detailing all the cut quests and features from The Witcher 3. Highlights include a VATS-like system to target weak points, changes to several major quests, old characters returning, a 150-hour main quest, different endings, some being incredibly depressive, and Geralt and Avalak having a quest for going to, I shit you not, Night City from Cyberpunk. That would have been weird.
I guess it would still make sense though, since they're just world travelers or whatever.
Oh, that reminds me, did you know that Balatro is now in Cyberpunk 2077? It has its own quest.
That fits. That's all just Volume 1 though. For those interested, we'll include a download link down below, and you can check out how the game changed over time and what they dropped. So during the Game Awards, a lot of people, us included, were put off by a new award called the Game Changer. The award was given to a person named Amir Savat, a man who helped thousands of laid-off game developers find jobs through the use of his jobs resource website.
It's a touching story of a man who, according to the VGAs, helped find people jobs through methods created by the kindness of his heart. A man who saw how bad the game industry was suffering and stepped forth to help out people in the industry that he loved, supporting them in any way he could.
Except that's a fucking lie, because Amir works at Tencent as the business developer director, which is basically like being the guy that's in charge of telling Tencent which companies to buy out. And that spreadsheet that was highlighted during that vague montage at the VGAs, while yes, it's great for people looking for jobs, it also makes his job at Tencent way easier when it comes to buying other companies.
Another disingenuous thing is that, like we said, the VGAs framed him as if he was some random guy putting all of these resources together himself, as if he was just some random guy who broke into the video game sector. But no, he wasn't. He was a fairly high-up employee of one of the biggest gaming companies in the world and had access to tons of resources and contacts because of it. He pretty much already had this shit ready to go, and he was getting an award for basically doing his job.
But being that he worked at multiple positions at Amazon, his behavior towards employees isn't all that surprising. We do want to reiterate though, he is helping people, but mostly by helping himself while painting himself to be a good man. And although this story doesn't have a real conclusion, we still wanted to highlight how disingenuous the situation is, because gamers and game developers alike have had to eat way too much shit lately. And also, award shows in general are just kind of shitty and stupid. There's no point to them, besides circle jerking.
It's all circle jerking. The most important news from Indiana Jones this week is Harrison Ford was drunk at the Game Awards, and that Todd Howard is 5'6".
Which is still taller than Booster. It's okay, I still love you. Anyway, an even bigger news regarding Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is that Humble Bundle is revoking and voiding access to the digital copies of the game if they were received the day after launch.
But before you grab your pitchforks, there is a legitimate reason. Humble Bundle made the oopsie whoopsie of selling the game for free the day after it launched. Humble then ate his humble pie, apologizing the next day, and then taking the game from everyone who got access to it, even if you downloaded it. There's no other compensation to their screw up, but if you beat the game in 24 hours, you got the game for free.
Those who played it, let us know what you guys think. I still have yet to watch the second Indiana Jones movie, and I thought the first one was kind of meh. And also, I just like Uncharted, so it doesn't really matter.
Choo choo, choo choo, ha 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 ha.
Just when everyone was getting into the groove of shitting on terrible hero shooters that die in 5 seconds, Concord, Marvel Rivals kicks back by not being terrible and in fact being fun. Game director Thaddeus Sasser, a name that sounds like a Marvel character, took a little bit of a jab at Concord in an interview where he said that Concord didn't bring any unique value to make gamers switch from other games, like Overwatch.
He then explained what seemed to be Marvel Rivals' X Factor, like X-Men, can get it, by stating, "I don't know about you, but when I heard about the concept of the game, I was like, oh my god, I want to be Storm in the game, I want to be Doctor Strange in the game, I want to be like those heroes in the game, that sounds awesome." However, Marvel Rivals also brought another thing of unique value.
In the interest of not getting another video demonetized, we're going to be very coy with what we're saying. But it seems NetEase really did want the Overwatch audience, as fans noticed the female characters, especially Squirrel Girl, were designed with all the bits. To be a little bit more clear, it seems NetEase went even further beyond. Fans were waiting with bated breath for the models to be ripped so that they could be making popular animations, and they found half the work had already been done for them, as according to one user of Smutbait.
Modding website.
As it turns out, as soon as you remove her clothing, you find out the team working on this game weren't too subtle in their desires for this game to be the next Overwatch game. From sophistically sculpted ass to vaginal creases hiding in the normal maps.
And to our viewers who like ladies, you now have a literal map. You have no excuse now. And to our viewers who like men, like myself, this doesn't appear to have happened with the male characters because the developers are fucking cowards and sexist.
No, that's not what? No?
Why not have the penis? And because we can't have any surprises in video games anymore, data miners have already uncovered some upcoming characters, so if you want to avoid spoilers, skip ahead to the next story. But also keep in mind that these characters may get cut before launch, because you know how development is.
So the upcoming roster is likely to include all 4 of the Fantastic Four, Blade, Ultron, Captain Marvel, Hitmonkey, and fucking Angela! Because Neil fucking Gaiman is a fucking who should fuck off to the deepest pits of hell and fuck him for how he fucked over Spawn.
The TLDR is that Neil Gaiman sold Angela, a character from Spawn, to Marvel after a long legal battle with Todd McFarlane, and Booster is still mad about it.
This week's Bury Your Life Banger, a segment where we cover a game our community doesn't think has had enough attention, comes to us from me. It's called Switchball. It's probably one of my favorite games of all time. You play as a ball, you switch your type of balls, you complete 30 puzzles. It's really fun, and it came out on the Xbox 360 almost 20 years ago. Play it. Here's the games coming out this week. Nothing. I mean, I'm sure I could look on Steam. You could go look on Steam, but it's that time of the year where there are no games coming out.
And here's our schedule for this week. We will do our absolute best to do our live cam stream this Wednesday. On Thursday, we'll be continuing Subnautica, and on Sunday, we'll also be continuing RoboCop. And of course, you know me, Probably some random Infinity Nikki streams here and there, you know.
Anyway, that's it for this week's Necro News. If you liked the video, subscribe to the channel. If you're not already,
What's wrong with you?
And as always, a special thank you to all of our channel members. We're going to be doing more small members only streams starting January, so become a member so you don't miss out.
if you've made it this far into the video, you gotta put in some kind of emoji. Christmas tree. Is there a Christmas tree emoji? Oh no, Christmas tree. Merry Crimbus!
And until next time, everyone,
Goodbye.